Announcement, you're gonna take care of your bottom in a different way after you have your baby than you did before you had your baby. And I'm also gonna talk about what you use these little babies for. I'm Hillary. I am the pregnancy nurse. I am also the curly head behind the website Pulling Curls and the online prenatal class for couples. I have been a nurse since 1997 and I have 20 years of labor and delivery experience. I am here to help parents from bump to bassinet have the confident, collaborative hospital delivery that they are looking for. Today, we are talking about how to take care of your bottom after you have a baby, especially if you have a vaginal delivery. If you're interested in information like this to help you have a better delivery as well as postpartum time, please like my video and subscribe. It really helps us. We're new on the YouTubes and it really helps YouTube know what you're interested in learning about. Okay, I don't know if this is a surprise to you, but after you have a baby, your bottom, and by bottom I mean everything from your pee hole to where you poop, is going to be very sore, especially if you have a vaginal delivery. But honestly, even if you have a C-section, it may just feel a little bit different. So today we're going to talk about how you're going to take care of your bottom. It's going to be more involved than you had ever imagined. So let's jump into the supplies you're going to use to take care of your bottom. Now, pro tip, most of these supplies are going to be offered by the hospital, but you could have some extras on hand if you want. Honestly, all of these things are very available at drugstores, and so you can probably very easily pick some up if you run out from what the hospital gives you. Okay, let's run down the supplies. First of all, what I showed you before, mesh panties. Now, they're gonna give you some mesh panties in the hospital. These are from my friends at Brief Transitions. They sell them, they're on Amazon. They are so much stretchier than the ones that the hospital gives you. In fact, I do have friends who have said that they preferred bringing their own panties than the ones that the hospital gave you. Just keep in mind that the ones you get in the hospital, you're most likely gonna throw away, but these are reusable. So you can take them home, you can use them, I think it says up to 5 times, so that's super handy. So you're gonna have mesh panties. These are tucks. Now, these are hemorrhoid pads that people use if they have hemorrhoids, but they have witch hazel on them. You can actually just get witch hazel and you can put it on little pads, but honestly, tucks are so much easier, but witch hazel is a good thing to have on. A lot of my friends use it on their face. So tucks pads are going to be used to help with any swelling that you have, which is very likely. Even if you don't get a cut or you tear, you're probably gonna have a little bit of swelling because the baby has stretched those tissues out quite a lot. This is a Peri spray wash bottle. You're gonna use it to spray off your bottom with water after you have a baby. The nurse is totally going to show you how to do it, but you're going to use this because you aren't going to want to wipe that area because of stitches and swelling. You're going to want to use this to spray this off and then gently dab with some toilet paper. This is Dermaplast. Now, you don't have to use the brand name Dermaplast. It is a first aid spray, and actually my mom used this on us for sunburns when we were little, but they use it to help with the swelling and things like that in the hospital. One thing that I think Dermaplast is really helpful for is when you start to heal, it starts to itch, which it's not a great area to be itching in. So I really liked using Dermaplast when it started to itch. Big fan. There are other brands out there that are a little bit more natural. I find that Dermaplast is a little bit drying, but it's the best one available on the main market, easily found at drugstores. Look for a more natural one if you're interested in that too. Don't forget our good friend, the pad. Now this one's kind of tiny. I don't have any giant ones at my house, thank goodness, but the hospital is going to give you big ones. You're going to buy giant overnight ones. You're gonna use a pad in your panties. Some people even double up. So you're definitely gonna be using your friend, the pad. Now that I showed you the supplies, I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to use them. Let's get into those mesh panties. Getting up to the toilet is going to be an ordeal. Sometimes those legs are not as functional as you would like. Even if you didn't have an epidural, your body's just been through a whole thing. So your nurse is going to help you get up to the toilet, and the first thing you do is sit down to pee. Peeing can also be a bit of a problem after you have the baby because everything's stretched out down there. So don't be surprised if you have to wait a little bit. Some nurses will try things like peppermint, having you blow in a straw, turning the water on, having you take sips of water. Sometimes it's hard to pee, but once you do pee, you're gonna use your Peri wash bottle to spray off your bottom after you have the baby. So you just spray all over there, especially right after you have the baby. There's gonna be a lot of bodily fluids that you're gonna spray off with a Peri wash bottle, and then you're gonna use toilet paper or a washcloth to blot all that area dry. After you spray off your bottom, you're probably gonna use something like this Dermaplast, It's just your basic aerosol spray. You're gonna spray it down there to just help things feel a little bit better. This spray is also very cold, so just something to keep in mind before you spray it on yourself. Now come our friend, the mesh panties. You're gonna have your pad. Now some of them have sticky and some of them don't. You're gonna stick it in there, just like the good old period days when you were a teenager. Then you're gonna take your Tux pads and you're gonna lay those on there so that they touch your bottom as you pull your panties up. So I like to lay three or four out, and sometimes I double them up because they tend to dry out fairly quickly. Once that is all ready, then you're gonna pull up your panties and these are gonna rest right next to your bottom. Super handy. Once your panties are up around your bottom, a lot of times for the first 24 hours, I really recommend that people use an ice pack. Hospitals have different ways that they use them. Some have like a clicky thing that turns ice. Some people put ice in a glove, some people put ice in a diaper. It's really important that you just put that right next to your sin. Sometimes, if I'm really on top of things, I'll line the Tux on top of the ice pack, and then you just get the best of all the worlds. In fact, after my first baby, when I came home, I had a 4th degree tear. We'll talk about those later. When I came home, I would keep my Tux in the fridge because it felt so good next to my bottom. So that's a bonus tip for you. I hope that showed you kind of what to expect as you go into delivery day. Now the nurse is totally going to show you how to do this at the hospital, but for me it was a big eye-opener when I was in labor and delivery rotation in nursing school. So I just thought it would help you to know what to expect, that it's going to be a bigger deal than you probably expect. I think you're so used to just going in and being done. It's a routine after you have the baby, and it slowly you get faster at it, and it slowly goes away because you're not going to be swollen forever. So that's what to expect on your bottom after you have a baby. If you like this video, it means the world when you guys subscribe. It also shows YouTube the kind of videos that you're interested in to help you prepare for your birth. Now, if you're just like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what to expect postpartum, be sure and grab my online prenatal class for couples. We talk about exactly what to expect from even before admission until after you go home, but I'm really good at what happens in the hospital and how to really start recovering after you have your baby. So definitely check it out. I will put the link in the show notes.